Hey guys, it's Autumn, and just to start this video off before we go into it, I wanted to mention that this video is sponsored by me. I recently have launched my latest fall collection over on my Etsy by the time this video is going up, and I would really appreciate it if you guys would go and check it out. There's some pictures up here so you can see some of the products that I'm releasing, as well as some of the last minute isn't the right way to put it, the late Pride merch that I'm putting up that I had anticipated putting up way earlier. So with that, hello guys, and right now we are going to go through some of my old digital art that I've been working on over the last couple of months while I've been gone. This is not all of the artwork that I've filmed, but this is some of the stuff that I'm more attached to when it comes to digital art. The first one is just a Pride icon portrait of me that I did for June this month to update my icon over on Instagram for my shop and here on YouTube. I kept it because I really do feel like it's a good representation of me as well as my pride that I have to show. So I am Ace, which is the shirt, and Lesbian, which is the flag, and that's really all I have to say about this one other than it's pride. So in between these, I wanted to kind of talk about where I've been, the things that have been going on, because I promised this last month and I ran out of time. So what happened basically for why I left YouTube is, the best way I can put it is COVID. So when COVID started, I was still going to college for a little bit, and then they eventually went to online classes. And I lived with my dad, who is a police officer, was a police officer. He is currently police commissioner now, and my stepmom, who's a nurse. So at the time, we didn't know how contagious this was, we didn't know how easy it was to transmit, and I have a weakened immune system. I'm vaccinated now, thankfully, so it's not as much of a problem for me, but at that time, we didn't know how scary this was going to be. So I went to go live with my now wife at her house. In doing this, I didn't have a place to set up my computer for a while. I didn't know how permanently I was going to be staying with them. We didn't think this was going to last much longer than a month. And it turned out lasting even until now. We're still having problems with the COVID stuff going on everywhere. But now I am obviously in a far different location. This is my studio now. But so what happened was all of that. And I moved in, I didn't have somewhere for my desk, didn't have somewhere to record, so I didn't for a while. I used up the last of my backlog, and then eventually we got a desk, but all we were doing was online schoolwork because we were adjusting to this new normal that we had, where all of our classes were online and you had to do certain classes a specific way, and it was a lot, so I didn't have a chance for YouTube. And then we hit the summer after our semester was over, and we decided that we wanted to move, and we wanted to go up north to the North Country of New York State and go back to college. We wanted to go to Potsdam and get some more of our classes done, I'm going for my bachelor's degree. She was going to finish her off her associates, which she has, but in doing so, we picked an apartment that definitely was not the best choice of place for us to be living at that point in time. It was expensive, it barely had anything. We lived on the second floor, and the floors were sloped, so they were like this, pretty much. We had mice problems, we lost one of our guinea pigs. It sucked. We hated it there. We lived there until December of last year. And in December, we moved here to where we are now, which we love because we've been here for almost an entire year now. And in December, it will be a year, and we'll probably stay a little longer until we are sure what we want to do with the next steps. But this place is a lot better. We have a laundry room, which is fantastic. We have a garbage disposal, a dishwasher. It's a 3-bedroom apartment. We live with one of our friends. It's plenty of space for all of us to get together and play D&D, and it's just better. So before I continue on with all the things that have been going on, let me just talk briefly about this drawing. This is Leah/Lee Stalouse. They are my changeling character for my my wife's campaign that we will be playing eventually. She is a rogue, an arcane trickster rogue. Although I'm looking at the female version of her currently, so. But basically, this is just both the female and male versions of Leah. So I had some sort of point of reference for how they look. This drawing took forever, and I was just happy to be done with it once I was done. I do still like it. It's a little older now, and I feel like I could have done better with the line work on it, but that's pretty much it. So coming back into my story, so we moved here. We've been living here since December, and it's pretty much perfect. I think the only thing that sucks is there's not a lot of job opportunities around here, so it's been hard to find work at all. But I am doing my best to do my own things and make that work for me to the best of my ability. But beyond that, I've been allowed to have a lot more creative freedom, which is why I've come back to YouTube finally. I finally set up my space in a way that'll work best for recording these videos and getting them out to you in a timely manner. And I also just found my passion again for it. I was reinvigorated to create art on camera. I've obviously been creating art, but just not a lot of it. Like, the pieces I'm showing you today are all kind of spread out over a couple of months. Like, these are the finished pieces I did. There's not a lot of them. And I just wanted to share them so that way you guys could see sort of what I've been working on. The other stuff I've been working on are like stickers and prints and things for my Etsy, which you can see on my Etsy shop. And then a lot of the other stuff that are more finished pieces are also over on my Instagram. Instagram is probably one of the better places to follow me nowadays for more artwork and more just seeing what I'm working on and following along with my shop updates. But YouTube is still going to be a place where I share my art and my creativity with you guys. So this is obviously a little bit of a different video. I haven't done a video like this in a while. I think I did this long ago when I was still doing YouTube more regularly. And I kind of like doing these where it's just like a compilation of all of my digital art that I've been working on and all of the things that I've been creating in my spare time. I'd like to do a video talking about how I do my shop stuff eventually, bit more of a walkthrough on how I create my stickers, how I cut my stickers, how I make my packs, and my prints more recently, how I've started to work on those. And I feel like that would be very fun to share with you all eventually down the line. I want to have a little more of a plan in mind before I go through with that. So the reason this piece is taking so long, just to hop back onto the art for a second, is I decided to do colored line work, but the colored line work I'm doing is, it matches up with the shading of the item around it, so it looks more realistic, I guess was the idea. But I don't know that realism is what it is. I guess softer. It looks more soft and rendered. And I do like it. It's just, it was a pain to do. And I'm just now, we're at the point where they're just now finishing there were like ropes across the chest, which is supposed to be for a bag, and it was awful. This is Gina. I have a video of Gina being done traditionally as well here on the channel, but this is the digital one that I did prior to that, so I had the colors accurate for her, because grayskin tieflings are not easy to replicate. I want to do maybe a print of this eventually, but I don't know what the interest would be in that. But I do talk about Gina, her story, why she is the way she is, in her specific video. The two after this are also more D&D characters that I've been working on, kind of refining their details, making sure they look the way I want them to, and just, I'm having a good time with it. So I don't know that there's much else to talk about, but I can talk about animals because I know people love animals. So in moving, we've had my cat Gus, who I'm sure I've shared pictures of before, but if not, I will throw a picture up of him somewhere. And all of our guinea pigs, and then we adopted in February, I believe, we adopted Jester, our little baby kitten. She is a terror, but I love her. She's super sweet. She yells at me all the time, and she likes to get the flies and is very good at it. Guinea pig wise, I can talk about them briefly because there's so many of them now. I believe last time I talked about the guinea pigs, we had pumpkin, midnut, and nutmeg, I believe. And now we have nutmeg passed, so we have pumpkin, midna, Tiny, whose name was originally Milka but is now just Tiny. We have Clove, who is our newest, and Tucker, who is our little boy. He is separated currently, but eventually he will go and get neutered so he can be the boar of the group. But yeah, so we've got a million guinea pigs right now, but it's great. Maybe I'll show some pictures if I have them, but I don't have a whole lot of pictures of them, to be fair. I used to have more, but I don't keep as many on my phone anymore because it tends to overload it. Let's see. Is there anything else I can talk about? I can kind of talk about the stuff behind me very briefly. The table directly behind me is my my store prep table. It's got my printer, it's got my shipping supplies, it's got all my stickers, my prints, my sticker sheets, as well as packing materials. So the glycine bags, glycine, I don't know, the compostable bags that I use for sticker packs and things, as well as stamps, weeding tools for my cutting machine, my silhouette cutter. I almost said Cricut, but I replaced my Cricut with the silhouette mats, and just some of my spare stuff that I use for it. Oh, you gotta love yard work days. I thought I'd chosen a good time when they wouldn't be near. But yeah, so that's what that table is. Up on the wall behind me, right above where my work table is, are a bunch of Leah Lexon's postcard prints. I ordered those in her last store update, as well as her watercolor tiger sticker and the plant and rainbow set that she did as well. And then the wall directly next to me, this is all my wife's prints. Most of them are Danica. One of them is mine, which is this Harley. And then these two are ones that we got from Con, and then there's a couple more above where the camera is that I can't point to. That were from Con as well. And then the little fence thing is something I painted. These are her Nightmare Before Christmas ears. These are Mardi Gras beads of mine, because I have a million from my grandmother. And then behind me, if I lean the right way, this is my Mighty Nine shrine. It's got a lot of Caleb art, Caduceus and Molly Mock, tiny prints of everyone, and then I believe this is a group print. And then this is an Ocarina of Time print and a Edward print from Fullmetal Alchemist. I believe that's all the art that you can see. The art on screen currently is my character Alexandra. She looks very different from the last time you guys saw her. Her class has changed actually for the next time that I anticipate playing her, so she's a wizard now as opposed to a ranger, based off of the fact that I learned how I like to play D&D, and it's magic all the way. All kinds of magic, which is very fun. So this is just her with her staff, as well as just adjusting her outfit to match that. She still has the sun symbol on her shoulder because that was such a big part of her last design. The skirt is the same, and then she's got the sash that used to fall down the front. I kind of turned into a wrapped thing. And I do think I want to put the symbols, the characters in Elven again across it. I just didn't for this version. So I don't know that there's much else you guys can see behind me. This painting back here on the table is one that I just recently finished, which is very fun. I probably will show it at some point or put on my Instagram. And then over here is the windowsill. This is all of my art stuff, my paper towels, and then the blinding light of outside, even though it's overcast today. And then on this side, this desk here is my drafting table that you guys are used to me filming on, which I will be filming the next video on. I just am doing that after this. I hit my palettes. And then on the wall, directly behind you guys, the camera, I've got prints of Bailey J's. I've got two Casey Golden prints. And then I have an original from Victoria Juicy Ink, she used to be, but Vicky, I won it like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Oh god, I don't even know how long ago now. But it's from Tori, not Vicky, Tori. I always confuse the nicknames. Too many Vickies I follow. But yeah, from Tori. I won it in a Christmas giveaway forever ago, and I love it. It's one of my favorite pieces. I need to get it framed eventually, but not yet. And then also off to this side more is my giant pin board. So if you've seen our last apartment tour, it was in it. I'll do a full-on studio tour eventually. This is the last illustration for the video. This is my character Anna Tenth of Varnos. You guys are more familiar with her as she is the character I play the most currently, though I have mostly been doing my campaign, but I did play in the campaign that Anna's in the last time my friends were up. So I'll probably have a video about Anna coming up eventually. I do want to do another illustration of her. But this one is a favorite of mine currently. I spend so much time on it because I needed to. I needed to just draw some Anna in my life. But I imagined this to be during the current arena fight thing that we were doing, where she just got pissed, which fits what happened, and kind of raises herself up with her magic, with the feather cloak flowing behind her, and she's getting ready to unleash some mayhem, which she does, just not with this kind of magic. This isn't the final, by the way. I go back and I completely redo her anatomy because I don't like it, which is fine. I worked on this while I was home for my birthday, I think. I did this while I was home for my birthday, or in June, when we went home in June. Because I live 4 hours away from my parents' house, so I have to drive home 4 hours if I want to go see them. So we went back in June, I think, and that's when I drew this, because the picture is in a different place than where it was for my birthday. So, but yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're stuck around this long, thank you. I really appreciate it. Last reminder, if you are interested in anything from my Etsy shop, it will be linked down in the description, as well as my Instagram, and I believe my Patreon. I do have one. It is small because there's not anybody on it. If you're interested in supporting me that way and helping me pay my bills and also want some stickers on the side, it's very appreciated but not needed. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.